Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to our channel. I'm Alana, and I am going to tell you the world's 10 fastest dying countries in 2024. In this eye-opening exploration, not all corners of the world are thriving in population growth. So let's dive right in. Starting the list with Armenia, a country grappling with a population decline over the past decade. Between 2010 and 2020, Armenia faced an average change of minus 0.41%. This negative trend persisted in recent years, with a minus 0.38% population decrease in 2022 and a minus 0.09% decline in 2023. The primary drivers behind this decline are low birth rates, people leaving the country, and older population. Lower than 3 million people live in Armenia for the first time since the country became independent. That's about 90,000 fewer people than there were in 2011, which was the last time the census was done. The government has implemented measures to counter this decline, but their effectiveness remains uncertain. Next is this untouched white sandy beaches, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, blue-green pure water, and colorful corals. This is why many tourists visit this oasis. Despite being tourists' destination, a decline is evident in population as the number has reduced on average by 0.44% per annum. It's estimated that 113,813 people lived in 2000. By 2023, that number had dropped to 103,698, an 8.9% drop. What's driving this trend? However, it's a story of migration, meaning that more individuals emigrated from the island rather than into it. It's one of the poorest countries in East Caribbean. Despite this, the country continues experiencing persistently high unemployment, averaging at 21.6% in 2021. Next is Serbia, with its rich history and natural splendor, grapples with a persistent population decline. There were 63,975 births and 101,655 deaths in 2018. Which means that if you don't count the people who left the country, Serbia's population fell by 37,680. That was the worst number in 10 years, during which time the population dropped by an average of 35,125 people each year. Between 2010 and 2020, Serbia saw an average minus 0.4% change, and this trend continued with a minus 1.03% population change in 2022 and minus 1% in 2023. Outbound migration surpassing inbound migration and a consistently low birth rate are the two primary factors contributing to this decline. Dissatisfaction with the economy and limited educational opportunities are pushing people to leave the country. For example, young, educated individuals often struggle to secure employment, with just 13 out of 100 higher education students successfully finding work in their chosen field. Next is Bulgaria. Despite being a member of the European Union since 2007, Bulgaria has encountered economic challenges that set it apart as the EU's most economically disadvantaged nation. Economic disparity is driving its population decline, with an average minus 0.81% change between 2010 and 2020, resulting in a minus 1.51% population decrease in 2022 and minus 1.39% in 2023. According to the 2011 census, there were 7.3 million people living in Bulgaria. However, the 2021 census found that number had dropped to 6.5 million. Bulgaria's ongoing economic struggles have motivated many individuals, particularly those with university degrees and professional qualifications, to seek employment opportunities abroad, leading to a significant brain drain. Interestingly, Bulgaria experienced a slight population increase when Bulgarians returned to the country during the pandemic, but this appears to be isolated. Next is Croatia, a sought-after European travel destination. Attracts numerous tourists yearly, celebrated for its rich history, picturesque landscapes, and captivating architecture. However, beneath this tourist allure, Croatia's residents face substantial challenges. Between 2010 and 2020, Croatia experienced an average minus 0.61% population change, and the trend persists with a minus 0.73% change in 2022 and minus 0.54% in 2023. The 1991 census found that there were 4.7 million people living here. This number went down over the next few years, and in 30 years, Croatia lost more than 900,000 people. The 2021 national census shows that there are 3.8 million people. This is 415,000 fewer people than in 2011, which is almost 10% drop. The primary driver behind this population decline is the country's economic struggles in recent years, prompting many to seek opportunities abroad. Additionally, Croatia grapples with death rates surpassing birth rates, further contributing to the declining population. Next is Lithuania. Its complex history, marked by occupations and independence, has now led to a demographic challenge. In 2023, there are 2,718,000 people living here, which is 1.15% less than in 2022. There were 2,750,000 people in 2022, which was 1.31% less than in 2021. There were 2,786,000 people in 2021, which is 1.19% less than in 2020. There were 2,820,000 people in 2020, which is 1.01% less than in 2019. Death rates surpassing birth rates and significant immigration are the primary drivers of this decline. The country's wages are gradually rising to align with Western European standards. These positive developments may signal a potential reversal of Lithuania's population decline in the future. Next is Latvia. It has been facing a population decline. The country's population has gone down by 309,000 or 13% since the last census in 2000. Between 2010 and 2020, Latvia experienced an average minus 1.03% population change, and this trend persisted with a minus 1.24% change in 2022 and a minus 1.1% change in 2023. The People and Housing Census 2021 says that there were 1,893,000 people living in Latvia. The country's population has gone down by 174,664, or 8.5%, since the last census in 2011. The persistent imbalance between deaths and births, coupled with Latvians seeking more promising opportunities in other European countries, contributes to this negative population change. The income levels are considerably lower than those in many other European nations, prompting people to seek better wages abroad, further contributing to the population decline. Next is Puerto Rico, with its stunning beaches and natural beauty, has witnessed an average minus 1.17% population decline from 2010 to 2020. This trend continued with a minus 0.11% population change in 2022. However, there's a glimmer of hope with a 0.24% population increase in 2023. The island has faced notable population decline for several reasons. Better economic opportunities and higher-paying jobs in the mainland U.S. have lured many residents away. More Puerto Ricans now reside on the U.S. than in Puerto Rico. Natural disasters, such as frequent hurricanes, have also driven people to leave. This population loss has had repercussions, particularly affecting education system, leading to reduced funding for institutions and a decrease in the number of public schools. Next is Bosnia and Herzegovina, officially known as Bosnia, situated in southeastern Europe along the picturesque Adriatic Sea, as it witnessed an average minus 1.4% population change between 2010 and 2020. In 2023, there are 3,210,000 people living here, which is 0.7% less than in 2022. There were 3,233,000 people living in 2022, which is 1.14% less than in 2021. And there were 3,270,000 people in 2021, which is 1.43% less than in 2020. This decline mirrors the trend in many regions, attributed to the country's diminishing natural growth rate and individuals choosing to relocate elsewhere. Nearly half of the population, around 47% of those aged 18 to 29, have considered moving abroad in search of better work opportunities, amounting to roughly 269,000 people. Dissatisfaction with public services and concerns about corruption further motivate young people to seek a future outside. The first spot takes us to a remote nation, the Marshall Islands, situated in the Central Pacific. Comprising 5 islands and 29 atolls, this nation totals around 1,225 islands. Despite the abundance of islands, the population is notably small, with approximately 42,000 people as of 2023. This number has substantially declined in recent years, with an average minus 1.9% population change from 2010 to 2020 and a minus 1.14% change in 2022. The departure of a third of the nation to the U.S. in 2018 can be attributed to significant unemployment, subpar public schools, inadequate healthcare, and the escalating threat of climate change. Climate change-induced flooding, in particular, has driven people to leave, posing severe challenges to the region's quality of life, including the potential pollution of drinking water due to saltwater intrusion into the aquifers. Over half of the Marshall Islands population is under 24 years old, part of the last generation dealing with the reality of their homeland disappearing. A United Nations report warns of prolonged droughts and rising sea levels if global temperatures increase by just half a degree. The Marshallese also grapple with the aftermath of nuclear testing by the United States during the Cold War, resulting in health issues and land contamination. The Marshall Islands' plight is a stark reminder of the urgency of addressing climate change. It's not just their battle, it's a battle for the future of our planet. The world must act now. Yet, amidst these challenges, there is resilience and hope. Some countries are implementing measures to counteract the decline, while others are experiencing small reversals. As we bid farewell to these nations, we can only hope that their populations find brighter prospects and a more promising future. Until next time, this is Alana signing off.